Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of UA Eats. I'm UA and we are in New Haven, Connecticut. We're back in New Haven, Connecticut for some delicious New Haven pizza called Apizza or Apizza. I think there's I'll get the pronunciation down one of these days. But anyways, last time we ate at Modern Apizza, which was voted by a pizza magazine as the best pizza in the whole US. But today, while this might not have been #1 according to that magazine, we're at a place that word of mouth is the best, or at least is the most storied. We're at Frank Pepe Pizzeria Napoletana. It's down the street from Sally's Apizza, which actually the line at both of these places, you can't see now, but the line at both of these places, I'm actually here right when they opened at 11, and right before they opened, the line was down the street. There was a line going all the way down the street just waiting for this place to open. And it's a weekday too. This is a weekday. This isn't like Saturday or Sunday. So that just says something about, the popularity of the place, that on a weekday you get people fighting to get in. Actually, let me show you real quick the parking lot. This is the parking lot for Frank Pepe. And yeah, just gonna show you real quick that as you can see by the people parking here, yeah, it's it's not completely full, but there's quite many cars here just to eat at Frank Pepe. So almost a full lot, maybe 2/3 or 3/4 full right at opening time. So I guess let's try it. I mean, I had Modern last time, I liked it, but I preferred my favorite pizza joints in New York City to Modern, but let's try the most famous spot. So let's check it out. Okay guys, so we are inside Frank Pepe. Yeah, this place definitely has a cool vibe. So they have these booths and I mean, other than the fact that the booths have these plastic screens probably installed during the pandemic, otherwise the place still feels really old school. And yeah, I mean, this place is almost 100 years old. Actually, 1925, so just 1 year away from their 100th anniversary. That's wild.
Still looking a little?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah, take your time.
Thank you. Actually, let's quickly take a look at the menu since it looks like, we should order soon. Don't want to keep the waiting staff waiting too long. So they're really plugging the tomato pie, which, that's making me relieved because I heard that this place is all about their clam pie and I am allergic to shellfish. I actually took a risk during the Modern Apizza video where I got their clam pie and I actually had a reaction that evening. So I guess I used to be able to eat clams, but I can't anymore. So tomato pie looks like it'll do the trick for us. But just show you guys the menu real quick. I'm guessing that's Frank Pepe. Old Reliable. Hopefully the restaurant currently is new reliable. Passionate about pizza for almost 100 years, 99. Almost quite there. But yeah, front and center, they got their original tomato pie with mozzarella, or as some people like to say, with mutts. And a 12-inch of that should be enough. But I wonder if they do half and halves. That would really help a lot because I also hear that their pepperoni is quite nice. I hear that the pepperoni in these New Haven pies often gets crispy and curled up, so we'll do half original tomato pie and then half pepperoni, but if we can't do that, we'll do one of each. And then this is where they have, additional specialty pies. Yeah, that's the clam pizza that they're famous for, but I can't eat clams. May contain shells. Ooh, that doesn't sound very pleasant if you ask me. But anyways, I'm allergic to shellfish, but clams used to be on the menu for me. I used to be okay eating them, but I guess not anymore. But it's okay. If any of you guys had the clam pizza, let me know. Other than that, I think we're just gonna, go with a dessert. Maybe cannoli pie sounds good. Tiramisu sounds good too. Yeah, maybe we'll try cannoli pie. That actually sounds really good. I'm guessing that's the cannoli pie there. And also gotta go with a Foxhound Park soda while you're here. It's made right here in New Haven. It's like a local soda brand. Yeah, we'll get one of these. It is time to order. I'm ready. Yep, I'm ready.
Let's do it.
So this is the classic, right? The original tomato pie?
Correct. So these are both the original tomato pie. This is like the old school one. This is probably the more popular one, so it would just be like your personal preference.
Oh, okay.
So the old school one is just sauce and the grated pecorino, and then this is sauce, grated pecorino, and mozzarella, like more like a normal cheese everywhere else.
Oh, do you do like half and half? Do you do
absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, that would be great. You know what? So if I get this original pie, would I be able to get half that and half one of these toppings, or no?
Yes, you can.
Okay, so let me do the original pie small.
Okay, with the mozzarella on the whole thing?
Yes, half mutts on the whole thing, and then half pepperoni.
Okay.
I hear the pepperoni's pretty good.
Absolutely.
And then, you know what? I'm gonna add a second pie. You know,
Okay.
I came here from New Jersey, so.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah, so I'll do the original tomato pie.
Okay.
And then I'll
No
also.
toppings on that?
Yeah, just as is, as traditional, right? And then Fox on Park soda. I'll do root beer.
Root beer, all right.
Okay.
All right, excellent. I'll put that right in.
All right, sounds good. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, I wound up getting 2 pizzas, so I guess we can take home whatever we don't finish. Tina can help herself to some leftovers. Lucky me gets the fresh stuff live, so it's good to be me. Also, guys, I wish you guys were in here with me. I don't know if it's because there's not that many people in here yet. Like, it's a relatively full house, but there's still some empty tables, as you can see to the side of me. I tried to find somewhere that was more out of the way to not bother other patrons. As the orders are coming in, you just smell that delicious pizza being baked from those coal-fired ovens, and I have a theory that these fans are blowing that scent around, so I wonder if it's different if you come here when it's more full, but at least now when it's more empty, great smell.
Okay.
Yep, that's fine.
The tray is not hot, just the pizzas. Can I get you anything else?
Also the soda.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'll be right back with the root beer. Yeah.
Nah, no worries, thanks. All right, guys, these are some killer looking pies. I mean, I don't know if you can see, but look, they're still smoking. Maybe you can see, literally straight out of the oven. This one, she said, is the more traditional pie, the primarily tomato pie. I think I saw them selling these in Newark at one point. But yeah, I think this is more traditional, like more like an old-fashioned tomato pie, while this is more like your modern pie, like your more typical cheese slice. You know, what people think of when they want like a mostly tomato sauce pie. Like, they still expect some cheese on top. But guys, I wanted a half and half pie, and instead I got like a 3/4, 1/4 pie. This is mostly pepperoni, but I ain't complaining. As I was expecting, look at these delicious curled bits of pepperoni, charred and curled up and crispy, and oh baby, look at these charred edges, and I bet there is incredible leopard spotting on the bottom. Yep. So let's dig in. Let's just dive right in to the, you know, the plain slice. The typical cheese slice that we all know and love, made popular around the world. Leopard spotting on the bottom, drippy cheese. Some people think that New Haven pizza is better than New York style. And I think Frank Sinatra, was it Frank Sinatra, used to have people go to New Haven to bring New Haven pizza back to New York. Modern Apizza was good, but it wasn't completely my jam. But maybe this will be. You know, it's actually pretty similar to Modern Apizza. You know, I guess like Apizza, I guess this is just like their style here in New Haven. It's very, very similar, but let's break it down. The cheese is quite nice, so I'm kind of curious how the tomato pie with less of the cheese is gonna taste, because to me, the cheese is the real star. Like, it's a little bit greasy, but not too much. I think they actually pushed the perfect amount of grease out of this guy, because, you know, I like when pizza is kind of oily. I don't like them to be completely free of oil, but it's oily, it's delicious. There's some great milk flavor in the cheese. Look at how stretchy this cheese is as well. Like, this is like one of the best pizzas I've ever had in terms of cheese to stretch. The cheese has got that great milky flavor and like a slight sweet flavor, and the tomato sauce on the inside too. Like, it tastes like these are made from true, you know, fresh tomatoes. And don't get me wrong, I'm not necessarily saying that they're using like fresh picked tomatoes. They have their own Frank Pepe canned tomatoes that they use here, but canned tomatoes are okay as long as they're good quality and that they were picked at peak freshness. I also like the smoky flavor. Like, I like the flavor from the coal-fired oven, like the smoky flavor, and it's nice. But I still prefer New York style to this so far. I still feel like while the ingredients are all great and the coal-fired oven adds like some great touches and some crispy bits and things like that, smokiness, it's cooked beautifully, it overall tastes great, but the New York pizza, man, they've got that dough recipe down. Like to me, this pizza crust is still like, I don't know, like it doesn't quite have that like pliability that New York pizza has. Like it's neither crispy enough, it's neither chewy enough to my taste. Like something about it just doesn't compare to my favorite places back home. And I totally get it, that this place has been around for 100 years. It's definitely just their style. Like I totally get that this is just a style of New Haven pizza. But for me, all the toppings are great. It's just that the crust falls a little bit short. And not like the edge of the crust. I mean like, you know, the pizza crust. Oh, wow. Actually, it's all about these crispy edges. Like these charred bits, almost redeem the whole experience. In fact, I wonder, let me try something. Let's just get rid of this less good tasting non-edge part. And then we'll fold this guy over into like almost like a calzone, so we get delicious crust in every bite. It may not look pretty, but something tells me that this is gonna work. This technique is a little bit messier, as you can see. That definitely helped, although unfortunately the cheese and, you know, it kind of covers up the crispy edge a little bit, like the charred edge flavor. Just eat the pizza normally. The calzone method, not necessary. Also, they brought my soda. To clarify, she brought it right away. It's just that I wanted to prioritize the pizza while it was hot. Since 1922, this company is even older than Frank Pepe's. So, all right, cheers. It tastes good. Like I think these third-party root beer brands tend to taste better than like your, you know, than your more commercial root beer brands that are more popular. Like these local root beers tend to taste better than your more, you know, mainstream root beers. So it's got like good flavor, but to be honest, it's pretty flat. Like it doesn't have much carbonation, so that's disappointing. Perhaps the ice will help, at least give it like a temperature boost. We'll just let this guy cool down for a bit. And while our palate is fresh, we'll try the Frank Pepe's original style tomato slice. And this one, really emphasis on the fresh tomatoes. This is almost like a thin crust, like Chicago deep dish, like where they reverse the sauce in the cheese order. Ooh, look at those beautiful leopard spots on the bottom. Ooh, that was great. I actually think I prefer that one for sure. It's more old school and, you know, maybe many people prefer the more contemporary plain slice, but that tomato pie, wow. Wow, that was really special. This tomato pie guy, like I said, there's cheese on the bottom, delicious sweet tomato, like they're, you know, probably their own brand of Frank Pepe brand tomatoes. You really focus on the sweet tomato. You just taste mouthfuls of delicious sweet tomato sauce. Almost like you're eating like a breadstick with marinara sauce, but you know, don't take that negatively. I mean that in a good way. And it's also laden with more ingredients. There's garlic, there's basil, you know, there's more cheeses, not just mozzarella. I really, really like this. I mean, you know, the original, this pie here, I was comparing to like New York slices, you know, what I'm used to, and I felt that the crust was lacking. Here, it takes the attention more away from the crust and more towards the amazing toppings. And if you come here, definitely go with the tomato pie, like the traditional tomato pie at the bottom and not the newer one that's more popular. Best part coming. Can't wait. Oh, wow. The only problem with eating here is that the cold-fired pizza, like all the charred bits are getting all over my hands. I have to wipe my hands all the time. It's like I'm getting like coal miner hands, like the Zoolander quote. I think I have the black lung. Honestly, guys, like all the other toppings might be great and all, but you really come here to eat these crispy edges. I mean, this charred end crust is like the best crust I think I've ever had of any pizza. Like the middle may have shortcomings, but I haven't had a better charred, delicious end crust in my whole life. Like the smoky charred flavor is just unbelievable. Let's try the pepperoni on the last slice and see how this does. Although actually, let's try our now cold soda. Refresh the palate real quick while we have a chance. It definitely tastes better cold, but I still think it's a little not as carbonated as it could be. And I know it looks carbonated here, but that's just because I'm holding it really close up. I think it could stand to be more bubbly, but that's just me, just my take. And now let's try the pepperoni. I'm getting my Italian-American lingo on, right? Mutz, gabagool, pep. Pep is pepperoni, right, I think? That pepperoni is delicious. The pepperoni definitely helps. I wouldn't get the normal cheese pie. I would get a pepperoni pie if you're gonna go with the traditional cheese format. This pepperoni, it just looks exactly the way it tastes. I mean, it's crispy, it's oily, it's a little charred, but my favorite part about it is it's kind of spicy. Like, it doesn't just taste like, you know, your American pepperoni. It tastes like it's cut from like a spicy sausage. There's some zestiness to it, some spiciness to it, some kick. It's extra salty, which, you know, some people might not like, but I dig it. I like the extra saltiness, the extra seasoning in there. And it's actually not too greasy. You know, they pushed out the perfect amount. You know, oftentimes pepperonis are cooked too long. Pizzas often are cooked too long in general, where the oil is pushed out of the pizza and is pushed out of the pepperoni especially to make the whole thing greasy, which I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I like that, you know, guilty pleasure. But in this case, the perfect amount of grease was cooked out of not just the cheese, but also the pep. So it's like the perfect amount of grease, not over-greased and not under-greased, if that's a thing. So not bad, right? And you know, Dave Portnoy, you know, that one bite guy, you know how he's all about no flop. Well, in this case, you know, I'm not saying flop is necessarily a bad thing. I think he very much judges by his personal taste, but it does say something when, like, with all this pepperoni, it's not getting so greasy that it's making this guy, you know, wet and soggy. He is onto something there. Delicious. Not necessarily the best pepperoni pizza, but the best, like, individual pepperonis. You know, one of the best I've ever had. I do wonder where they're getting these pepperonis from, or if they're making them in-house even, who knows, but their pepperoni is just to die for. So, pepperoni and tomato pies, it all comes down to picking the right ingredients at this place. All right, guys, it's time for the last thing we're gonna review, the cannoli pie. And this place is getting really, really packed now. Like, there's a lot of people now, so yeah, I packed my pizzas. I don't want to hold the spot too long, so we'll quickly review the cannoli pie and be on our merry little way. And boy, does that look delicious. I'm not sure if the crisscross pattern is necessary, but it does almost give it kind of like a fancy vibe, like something you would get from like a nicer restaurant rather than a pizza parlor. So, a bite or two of this at least. All right. You know, that's interesting. It actually tastes like almost exactly like a cannoli. It's just missing that cannoli crunch. But wow, that is like some fresh cream. Like, this is like some super fresh cannoli cream. I would think this is freshly squeezed cannoli cream, and it might be. Like I said, the main thing it's missing is like a, you know, a crunchy crust. Like, the crust on the bottom could probably stand to be more crunchy to really replicate that cannoli texture. Without that crunch, this whole thing is just incredibly sweet. I mean, ever try eating a cannoli like just a cream straight up? It's very, very, very sweet, like unbearably sweet. So in pie form, tastes good for sure, but it's a little too bitingly sweet. I think some crunch would really do the trick. And I know this is a pie and it's not an actual cannoli, so it needs to be like in pie format, but I still feel like the crunch of the cannoli is like an essential part of a cannoli, rather than, you know, just the sweet cream filling. So anyways, guys, let's grab our pizzas, be on our merry little way, and I'll share final thoughts outside. All right, guys, so we just finished eating at Frank Pepe's and, you know, got our pizza for the road. Some delicious leftovers that I already can't wait to eat. But yeah, I mean, I came like right at opening time when this place opened at 11, and it's about, what time is it now? It's 12:30 now, again, on a weekday, and yeah, line is already out the door. It's just crazy and just growing. So, I mean, I think it's for a good reason. This place is pretty good. For me, it definitely lived up to the hype. Now, was it better than all my favorite pizza places back in New York? I don't know, debatable, possibly not, but maybe that's just because I tend to like that New York style. But that crispy crust, like those charred edges, oh, like the edge of the crust was the best like pizza crust I've had maybe ever. A lot of people say that this is one of the best, if not the best pizza in the whole US, and you know, whether that's true or not, I mean, I don't know. I mean, whether it's best or not is up to the individual beholder. What I can say is that it's among the top pizzas I've had. I guess whether or not something is the best or not shouldn't even really matter, right? Like, all that matters is that it's doing a great job and that a lot of people love to eat here. I don't know, I might still slightly prefer New York style pizza, but this New Haven Apizza place, Frank Pepe's, fantastic, delicious, complete professionals. They know what they're doing and they've been doing it for 100 years. So, at least in my opinion, Frank Pepe's definitely worthy of the hype and definitely worth at least trying. But anyways, guys, that's gonna be it for this video. I had a great lunch and I'm gonna have a great dinner tonight. So, can't wait to get home. Time for the 2-hour drive back to Jersey. Have you had Frank Pepe's before? What do you think about it? Do you think Frank Pepe's lives up to its hype, lives up to its history? Do you think it's among the best pizzas you've had? Or do you think it's overrated? Let me know in the comments because great minds eat alike. And as always, if you like my vids, like and subscribe. That way you stay up to date whenever I post another video. And it's time to go home now. So until next time, I'll see you later.